reason that they push your buttons, which is what I'm going to share with you now, the reason that they push your buttons is because of what we still hold in our energy. So how do we stop people from pushing our buttons? That's the big question. How do we do this? How do we stop people from pushing our buttons? Well, here's the thing. The reason that people can push our buttons is because there is something held in your energy, meaning your energy field, your aura, which I'll talk about in a moment, and what they say, what they do, what they're projecting, what they're saying you did or what you didn't do is vibrating or reverberating, is reminiscent of something that you already have experienced. This is why our buttons get pushed. Remember, we talked about those energy reversals earlier on. Energy reversals are very simply parts of us that were in some way hurt or traumatized at a younger, earlier age. And it's almost like that part of our energy system has gone into a... and whenever we're faced with that same situation again, all of a sudden it's like, boom, like a bomb has exploded. People call it triggered. I like to call it detonated because it's literally like treading around and then all of a sudden you step on a landmine and the whole world kind of explodes. But again, this comes from understanding yourself and how you really are made up and how the world really works and how your energy system really works. So this is your aura. For any of you who haven't seen it, your energy field is incredible. Your aura is from Eastern medicine, Ayurvedic practices, but science have actually shown that your aura or energy field does actually exist. Your energy field can be measured up to 20 feet away from you. So your energy is literally filling a room, and the people that you're in or with or around or interacting with are affecting and impacting your energy too. I'll get onto that in a second. But your physical body is simply the slowest vibrating, meaning it vibrates at a slower rate than these other layers of your energy field. And that's why we can see it, because it vibrates at the same frequency as visible light. So that's why we can see it. The other energy layers vibrate at a different frequency, which we can't see because these human being eyes that we have simply don't pick up on that energy. Not everybody's does. Some people can see auras and some people can see energy fields. In fact, most of us can if you learn how to or practice well enough. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is your aura is a recording device. Every single thing that you've experienced in your life is held somewhere on some level of your energy field. Sometimes we store emotions and memories literally in the cells in our body, in the organs and tissues in our body. This is what often causes physical health conditions, but it's also connected to what's held in our energy field, the part we don't see. So your etheric energy level is like a blueprint of your physical body. If you've ever had any energy healing, like Reiki or angelic healing, people are often working about a foot off of your body, and what they're really feeling is the etheric energy field. You can find physical health conditions and symptoms, basically energy that's stuck or blocked in different places, which we then start to feel as physical health conditions, symptoms, illnesses, sore throats, back pain, etc. It's not fully manifested. If you go to the doctor with something that's vibrating on that level, they'll be like, oh, there's nothing we can find here. Because you're looking at the wrong body. You need to look at the etheric body, not the physical one. Get your other eyes on. Anyway, that's another conversation. Then we've got the emotional level. So this is everything you've ever experienced emotionally is held and recorded on this level of your energy. So when people are experiencing things like depression or stress or anxiety, if you could imagine, it's like a conglomerated ball of lots of bits of energy. That is what we feel as that panicky thing on our chest, or that heaviness on our shoulders, or that emotion that comes bubbling up from somewhere, all held on the emotional level. Then we have the mental level, which contains all of our memories, our self-sabotage patterns, our thoughts, our beliefs, all the things that you would associate with your brain are all held on the mental level. So those first four are what we call the earthly energy bodies. They're the ones that we interact with all day, every day. And we're carrying so much stuff in them. Like I said at the beginning, if you could see this, oh my God, you would stop work and you would just get on with clearing this stuff out because you're literally carrying suitcases of stuff with you everywhere you go. Then the last three that we have are the more spiritual aspects of ourselves. The astral level speaks to our past lives or karma. There are different levels to astral, but that represents the lessons that we're kind of here to learn. And then outside of that is where your guides or spirit guides would be. But everything that's happened to you in this life and other lifetimes is held somewhere in your energy. Now, research shows that our energy fields actually speak to one another. So when you're in a room with somebody, you know, when someone's like, their mood has literally changed at the click of a finger and you're like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? And they're like, I'm fine. No, really, I can feel you're not fine. What's going on? No, I'm fine. No, really, I can feel this, like a big fat thundercloud has suddenly walked in the room with you. What's the matter? Now, they've actually shown that your energy interacts with other people's in the room. And it can be shown on EEGs, so the heart monitoring, and the EEG brain monitoring, ECG heart monitoring devices. And you can see the changes in people's energy will sync to the highest frequency in the room. Now, also, people have the ability to pull us down. Have you ever found your energy literally getting derailed? You walk into someone's house, you're like, oh, everything's great, I'm really happy, everything's good, I'm feeling shiny, oh my God, it's sunny outside. And then you see your friend who's got the big thundercloud. Boom. How are you? Life's really crap. All of a sudden, there's a thundercloud over you too. And then there's two of you walking along with a thundercloud over you. Now, the only way that our energy can become impacted so significantly by other people is when we are not in our power. When we are out of alignment, when we are not in flow with ourselves, other people can derail our energy at the click of a finger. But when we're in alignment, because we've done the work on ourselves, we've shifted the things that were standing in the way, and we know that this is what's happening, and we start to practice, oh, okay, this doesn't feel good. Or, oh, actually, I feel out of sync right now. I need to do the work on putting myself back. This is especially helpful when you know that you have to see people who are the energy vampires, or you know that they might be in that pusher energy. The more in alignment you become, the more in flow you are, the more expanded your energy field is. And the more expanded your energy field is, the more, I don't want to say protection, but it's almost like a superhero suit. Nothing can get to you. That's the ultimate intention of what we do with everything with EAM, is to just allow this stuff to bounce off of you. This stuff being these energy balls. So I'm just giving this to you as a picture. I am not saying that this is a true technical representation, but I just want to give you a picture of what's going on in your energy. So think about all those things that have happened to you in the past. Let's just use the theme of relationships. Now, these little blobs all my words. Where did my words go? All of these represent different situations from your past on all the different levels. So you've got some things that, you know, you've really been hurt emotionally. Some things have really affected you mentally. And you, when you're looking at the world outside, you can see over on the right-hand side, this other person, you are looking at them through the lenses of everything that is held in your energy field. Write that down. If this is new to you, underline it, because it's this stuff that is causing us to recreate the same relationships time and time again. If one of those energy balls represents you're going to be in an abusive relationship with people who treat you like fill in the blank with whatever you want to, even though you might find the courage and energy to step out of that relationship, until we do the energy work, we are highly likely, not always, but highly likely to attract the same pattern back time and time again, because it's a vibrational match to what's in our energy. Now, in the same way, when we're looking at somebody else or a situation in our life, you know, this could be a friend, it could be a work colleague, it could be whatever, we will judge the other people through the experiences that we've already had. So if you've been hurt, it doesn't even have to have been a partner, but if you've been hurt in any other relationship, whether it was a brother or sister, whether it was your child, whether it was your parent, where that hurt sits in your relationship box, you're going to view everybody else with that suspicious window of, you're going to hurt me. So of course that changes our behavior. Of course that changes how we think. Of course that changes how we show up. Is this all making sense so far? From the top. Say it again, Sis Deborah. Okay, makes sense. Okay, let me give you just, high level. Okay, it's good because this means it's new information. If this is asked me to repeat it, it means you haven't heard it or seen it before. Okay, from the top, you have an energy field, which we would just, let me just showed you on the last screen. Your energy field is a recording device. It's recorded every single situation that you've been in throughout your life, the good and the bad. I'm saying all of this just with the context of the negativity, but all the positive things are in there too. So if you were to see what's actually held in your energy field, you would see these little blobs and balls, and they might be gaps, they might be cracks, they might be rocks, they might be pebbles. They all look like all kinds of different things. But each one of them represents an imprint of something that has happened to you. If you imagine it like a glass greenhouse, so someone's been throwing stones at it, you'd see where all the chips and the dents and the cracks, and there might be one pane that's completely smashed in. Now, because of this, what happens is manyfold. You will see other people. So let's look at how you see that other person on the other side. You will see everybody else in your life through the lenses, not just everyone else, every situation in your life. You will see through the lenses of what's happened to you already, what's happened to you in the past. Because it's almost, if you could imagine someone had, using the glass greenhouse analogy, they'd smeared mud all over that window. So now every time you look out of that window, you see everything through that mud-filled filter. Is this making sense so far? For those of you who asked me to go back, is this making sense? So now the next level of that is, because these things are already in your energy, you are also going to be vibrating at that level, meaning that you're sending out that message through your energy field that you're available to be traumatized. And I'm sorry to put it in that context, but I'm just giving you an example. Or you are in that puller energy, or that you deserve to be hurt, or that people can walk all over you. Whatever the pattern is that it represents, whatever that ball is, you've got that in your energy, and that means you will start to attract more things that are a like or similar vibration. So the work that we want to do is to release and clear and shift all of this. This is how we heal the hurt from our past relationships. Because whilst we have this with us, we're going to keep on attracting the same things time and time again. Now, think about this now in terms of our relationship interactions. There's you that's got all this stuff going on, and then the person on the other side has got all this stuff going on too. Oh my God. Can we start to see where the drama and the chaos comes from? So now we've got the person on the other side, on the receiving end of this. You unleash, so that black ball that's sort of moving across the middle, you unleash your anger and your vengeance at them. And all of a sudden, they receive it on the other side. So this is them on the receiving end. That communication, whatever it was that you've said, perhaps it was your anger and vengeance, perhaps it was a very loving conversation, but they've now got to receive that through their filter of everything that's happened to them before, and everything that they've been through, and everything that they've been thinking about. So you could even say to someone, I think you are the most beautiful, amazing, wonderful, loving, gorgeous, fantastic, incredible human being on the face of the planet. And they might say, oh no, I'm not. What do you want? What are you saying all of that for? What do you want from me? You're just after my money. You're only going to, you're going to sleep with me and run. Because of stuff that's happened to them in their past, they might not even be able to receive the most loving thing that you want to say. So again, this, before I move on, has that all made sense for those of you that were asking some questions? Thank you, Claire, for asking me to stop and go back. It is our shadow stuff. Resistances, reversals, it's that dark, icky bit. It's not even necessarily dark, it's just the part of us. Every single human being has this. This is such an important thing to remember. Like, there is no physical body on the planet that has not had to work through this stuff or is not working through this stuff. Even the people who post their beautiful, shiny pictures of their amazing beach laptop lifestyle have these dark days. Okay? Everybody does it. And in understanding this is what we want to do, is to create so much, removing all of the opportunities for our buttons to get pushed, for us to get detonated, for us to get dragged into that drama. Because it can be heartbreaking, like truly can be heartbreaking. And the truth is, we get to live in a world of freedom. That's the beautiful thing. When you choose the new paradigm, all of that stuff disappears. And you go, do you know what? That person has definitely pushed my button. They have. And what they said was damn out of order. But actually, because I know that I'm fully responsible for myself and I know what that is, it means it has detonated something within me. I need to go and do the work on me. I need to go and do the energy work and explore, why has that pushed my button? What is it within me? What am I still holding on to that's caused me to respond in that way? Go and do the work on it, release it from your energy field, and then reprogram your energy field with something new. What do you want to experience in that relationship instead? Like, do you want more communication? Do you want more love? Do you want more understanding? Do you want them to be able to hear you? What do you want to create? Because now what you bring back to that conversation when you come from that empowered place is that's where the mind boggling starts. Because you're no longer projecting that into the situation. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens in the energy field. Truly, it becomes magical. And this is when you then start to see those random phone calls out the blue, or children suddenly completely changing their dynamic or their relationship with you. And there was and actually, Jo, you are on here, but I did ask her permission to share this beforehand. Jo's actually done some work with us in the past, and she actually shared in one of our groups that she'd been doing some energy work. She went a little bit off piste of what we were doing in the How to Change Your Life journey. And she actually did some energy work on her relationship with her daughter, who she hadn't seen for quite a while. And completely out the blue, her daughter phoned her, and she said last Friday she phoned me out the blue and came to see me, asked to see my parents, and she was so lovely. We did end up having a row, but cleared the air and agreed to do some family therapy, which she's refused up until now. She then texted to apologise for speaking to me so rudely, and then also phoned to apologise. Then asked if she could come and see me on Saturday, and told me her friends think I'm a cool mum. I'm absolutely blown away. Baby steps, but until now, but what an incredible turnaround. Now, I don't know about you, but wouldn't it be amazing if you actually had a metaphorical and physical magic wand to really be able to change your relationships? Who wishes that who wishes they had a magic wand to be able to do some of this stuff? It'd be great if we could just wave a magic wand over some other people, actually, wouldn't it? Sonia's like, yes. We've all got someone, for sure. Magic wand would be fab. Sometimes it might feel like a baseball bat, but the wonderful thing with this, and this is a huge, huge subject. Not everybody that we actually want to heal our relationships with. There are some people that we are better off without in our life. But if we don't do the energy work, if we choose to remove someone from our life without doing the energy work on it, and this is a whole other teach, there are still energy cords between you and them. And even though you're not together anymore, sorry, I've got really good burps. Even though you're not together anymore, there is still an energy connection, a tie between the two of you. So you can metaphorically push them, almost like you put your hand in their face, but they're still energetically connected to you. And that's the stuff that we want to make sure we shift. Because otherwise what we end up recreating is another person comes boinging in on that elastic band and they look exactly the same as the last person you just got rid of, and it's like, oh God, am I attracting that same thing or same situation again? So I'm hoping this is all making sense so far. So we've taken a look at what the drama is and how we can heal it. And the last piece of the puzzle, as I said, is self-love is not having a bath. So often we put ourselves last. We talk down to ourselves, we belittle ourselves, we are not proud of ourselves or our achievements. We prioritize other people instead of putting ourselves first. And a lot of that comes from the way that many people have been brought up. Putting yourself first is selfish. You should always think of other people before you. Make yourself last on the list. And very often parents tend to kind of end up in that position. Everyone or everything else becomes more important than them. We end up exhausted, we end up tired, we end up resentful, hating, not everyone, but peed off with a lot of people and a lot of things in our own lives. So self-love is not a bath, although baths are wonderful. Self-love comes from many, many places, or not stepping into self-love comes from all of these different places. It's not a one size fits all. It really is about understanding how not loving yourself is showing up, because it shows up for each of us in a very different way. It might be showing up as self-sabotage patterns. You might be creating chaos and drama in your life in order to not get around to looking after yourself. You might be putting off doing the important things. You might end up running yourself into a wall, and I mean energetically, not literally, although sometimes people do take it to that extreme, literally. Running themselves, working all the time until they hit a wall and get sick, and then they'll stop. So these self-sabotage patterns can be some of the ways that we don't show ourselves. They're beliefs that have been instilled in us from a young age, perhaps watching our parents or grandparents or caregivers running around looking after everyone. They might have been in that rescuer, in that protector role. You might have watched people running around all their life being virtuous in terms of taking care of everyone else and putting themselves last on the list. Very often, we've been brought up to believe it's how we get love. If we give to other people, we give, then people will also end up loving us. People are worried that they will be excluded or removed from the group or the family. And very often we end up in that kind of people pleasing, doing things to make other people happy. So real self-love for me, and again, take a screenshot of this if you want to. Real self-love is about healing ourselves first of all. It's impossible for us to be really present and loving, not impossible, but not going to allow us to bring the best to any other relationship if we are holding on to all of that trauma from our past. Because otherwise what happens is in the new relationship, you end up starting to see that person through the old lenses. You start to judge them by your past experiences. And again, whether that's a partnership, friendship, child, wherever, whilst it's present in your energy, you're going to bring that to a relationship. But also there's going to be that silent kind of conversations within yourself, talking down to ourselves, those limits, those emotions, those things about us. It is about becoming self-responsible, understanding the priority is your alignment. And when I say alignment, when we're talking about is really living your life in truth, getting clear on what makes you happy, getting clear on what you want to create, being clear what your life needs to look like, not sacrificing yourself in a relationship or a job or anything that isn't fulfilling you and isn't allowing you to live your life on purpose. And sometimes that's a journey. I'm not one of those people that's like, leave your job tomorrow, everything will turn out all right in the end. Yeah, of course, it absolutely will. But you're going to go through a complete storm in the middle. It's a journey. So what are the steps? And let's start taking the actions. I don't want you to throw yourself off a bridge necessarily in order to get there. Although there might come a point when I do nudge you to make sure that you take the steps. There's a difference between recognizing it and making a plan and working towards it, and recognizing it, ignoring it. A year later, you're still ignoring it. A year later, you're still ignoring it. Then there comes a time when we just need to kind of take the leap and jump. But self-responsibility is really that piece of knowing that you are in charge of your life. It is about living your life in truth. And I think that's probably the number one theme of 2022, created through the releasing of the old paradigm and all of the lies that have been going on in the world. But it's about us bringing joy. It's about us creating our non-negotiables for our life and for our relationships with other people around us, and by standing by them. One of the things that ends up really taking a hit on our self-love, our time for ourselves, is when we know that we've let ourselves down. This isn't about making anybody else happy, never has been, never shouldn't be. But the only person we ever let down or the person that we let down the most is often us. So it's about setting clear intentions for yourself and standing by them and making sure that you actually create them and live by them. And spending time with you. How often do you actually get time on your own? How often, and I don't just mean like you're in the car on your way from one place to another. How often do you actually take time to yourself to just decompress, or for yourself to go on a holiday, to just reflect on yourself and your life without the distraction of your business or your work or your children or your parents or your whatever? Just time to reflect, time to grow, learn something new, read new books, put yourself through something that you really, really want to do or learn or grow so that you expand to be what you want, to create what it is that you really want. So for me, truth, self-love is alignment. When we put our alignment as our top priority with what we want to stand for, with what we want to do, with what we want to think, what we want to say, what we want to be, we free ourselves from all of that stuff so that we just live an empowered and positive life. That for me is what real self-love is all about. Recognizing that it's us first and foremost. So we've covered quite a lot tonight already. I'm hoping that this is all making sense so far. So we've taken a look at being in the drama and obviously how we now want to stand in our power, how we hold on to our past hurts and where they get recorded in our energy field, and how we now need to reprogram what's in our energy field and create a new, whatever that newness, that new piece is. And that we know that self-love is much more than just having a bath, but self-love is really about us coming into that place of alignment. If you've got any questions on what it is that we're talking about, please pop them in the chat. We will come to the Q&A piece in a minute. But is this deconditioning, reconditioning, deconditioning? I like that. There's so much conditioning. There is so much conditioning in there. And can we make magic wands from baseball bats, says John. Yes, we can. But we can do energetic baseball bats, which is what we do with our energy work instead. Sonia says, yeah, hardly any time for ourselves. And listen, hold my hands up with this. I'm a work in progress. Come Christmas time, I was exhausted. The last 3-4 months of last year, I did the energy work, I kept myself in alignment, did the energy work, I kept myself in alignment. And one of the positive things is it keeps you in flow and you can keep on going and you can keep on going. And sometimes you're a little bit like the Duracell bunny and you're like, I just keep on going, I keep on going, keep on going. And then all of a sudden it was like Christmas and I was like, oh, I kept going for too long. I was not too in flow, but I kept going as much as, and again, this is a whole other conversation for another teach for another day, but true flow is about moving between the yin and the yang, the being on the go, and then the resting piece as well is just as important. Are you all still with me? Just find it. Yeah, so Sarah, wonderful. Just Sarah. There's just Sarah here with me. Is anyone else still here? Yes. Okay, good. Just, I know it's 9:00. I know some of you want to go to bed. I promise. I know that you joined today because you want to release the hurt and the drama and just one part of the journey. And I want to take you on the next part of the journey through our How to Change Your Life 8-week program. Some of you who are on here, those of you that I can see coming back, I know so many of you have been through this journey. And I love that you're still here. And I love that you're coming back on to share as well, or come back on to talk tonight. This program, the How to Change Your Life, is the program that I wish I'd had at the very, very, very beginning of my self-development journey. One of the things that holds us back is often all of those self-sabotage patterns, those things I was showing you in our energy field. They're the very things that get in the way of us actually succeeding on the very course that we know that we need to do in order to be successful. And so the How to Change Your Life journey has been was designed specifically to help us overcome the things that get in the way of us going on the journey to change our life, which is why it's called How to Change Your Life. Now, of course, you can take everything I've taught, and I do always overteach on the classes because I really want you to take new ahas, new understandings, new everything away with you. And often I get told off for that actually, but I can't help myself because I love to share. But what I know that we can do together inside How to Change Your Life is actually start putting this into practice, and that I will be there with you on the journey to actually help you create these changes in not every single area, but the big areas of your life. And this is for those of you who are really ready to do the work. And we haven't actually opened the doors to How to Change Your Life since May last year. And so this is a rare opportunity for you to come on an 8-week journey so that we can get to that point where you're free of the self-sabotage, you are clear on your future. We have created that place of stepping into our power all in our relationships and taking these next steps. So this is what the 8-week journey really looks like. So week 1, I set you on the path with the big picture. We take a look at how to make more time in your diary, how to make sure that you've got the space. I give you some of the basic understandings of EAM so that you get ready for the 8-week, I want to say it's a sprint, essentially, the 8-week journey that we're about to go on. Week 2, we focus on letting go of challenges in our past. So all those things we were talking about in our energy field, not just what's held in there from relationships, but everything. The things from your past are the things that are standing in your way for everybody. And until we find the way to shift and change them, which is, of course, EAM, they will continue to be there no matter what it is that we try to do. And I wish I could, like I said at the beginning, I wish you could see what was in your energy field, because it would just become your number one priority to shift that stuff. But the second week is all about letting go of what's in the way of the change. Things that have happened in your past, you do not have to share them out loud with anybody else. This is for you to do the work, and we're there to support you along the way. Letting go of the past is a whole week on its own, sorry. So what's in the way of change is the self-sabotage patterns, the thoughts, the beliefs, the emotions. Letting go of your past is week 3. Week 4, we've got a whole week dedicated to these relationship dynamics. So everything I was talking about earlier with the drama, we let go of the patterns, the thoughts, the beliefs, the dynamics. We talk about how to step into your power and really, really put this into practice in your relationships for real, so that you can start seeing these changes and transformations for yourself. Week 5, we have a whole week dedicated to working on our money, wealth, and abundance. Those of you who joined me last Monday on the masterclass, and we talked about the whole manifesting money journey, but a lot of us are carrying money traumas and negative self-beliefs. We need to do the work on how we deal with our relationship with money. There are so many pieces to the puzzle of working on this. This is just the beginning of the money journey, but we can create so many magnificent shifts. I've seen so many people manifest chunks of money or free themselves up or suddenly have money arrive from people that have owed them money out of the blue, like so many magical things when we do the work on shifting our energy. Then we've got this piece of designing your future, getting clarity on your direction and where you're heading, what you actually want in all the different areas of your life. And then I take you on to, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. The evolve your life piece of the journey, which is where we actually start to create a plan. Where are you at right now in 10 key areas of your life? What do you really want these things to look like? So this is about us stepping into the future. So in designing your life, I take you through a guided visualization of every single area of your life so you can start to see beyond what you know right now and see the life that is waiting for you to manifest. Then in Evolve Your Life, we start putting it into a plan so that we can start to take steps and just start with the most important piece of the puzzle. And then the last piece is all about living in the new paradigm, how we really embody this. So simple daily practices, things that you can put into practice day in and day out to get yourself in alignment, to start putting this into practice in all sorts of different areas. We're doing it throughout the whole journey, but the last piece is really making sure that you've got it embodied so that you know what you are doing all day, every day, and that you leave this 8-week journey in a completely different place to where you begin. Now, one of the big pieces, obviously, within this, I did touch on this at the beginning. This isn't just a coaching program, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. This is a transformation program. Once you understand the 5 steps of EAM, if you're new to this, once you learn the tool, which you absolutely will by the end of these 8 weeks, you will have a tool to be able to change anything you need in your life. It's always the same 5 steps. And the answer is always the same. We have to find the issue that's hidden in our energy field, whatever the subject is, and work on releasing the negative emotions, the beliefs, and the energy imprints. Then reprogramming our energy field to create that new thought, that new belief, that new emotion, to shift our vibration and manifest what it is that we want. So please know, this is not just me talking to you for 8 weeks. This absolutely isn't. You'll get instant access to the training library. You can access all the videos. It's available in video. It's available in transcript for those of you who like to read. But this is about the doingness. So we're there with you over that journey to make sure that you do it and that you get guided throughout the journey in being able to do this. So the 8-week journey is usually, if anyone has figured out what my favourite number might be, it's usually £888 to come in and join us in the journey. But right now, you can join us for just £488, or 2 payments of £248. And I'll ask Claire very nicely to pop the link in the chat. For those of you who haven't yet come in to join us, this, for me, is like, I would love to take you on a year-long journey. That's a conversation for another day. But this is the most condensed version that I know that I can share with you to create the biggest transformations in the shortest amount of time. So it's like, how do I give you 12 months of transformation in 8 weeks to get you started on the journey so that you know what you need to do to create the 12 months worth of transformation beyond that? Because everybody wants it tomorrow. And I would love to be able to just click my fingers and give it to you tomorrow. But you can get access to this tomorrow. But I wish I could give you all the transformations you're looking for. But that is one of the big reasons why we offer a money back promise on all of this. Because I know how many times in the past I've sat here on a webinar, I'm like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. It's absolutely what I want to do. Join the program. And then I'm like, oh, well, that was a load of crap. Or sorry, that wasn't, I've never said that about any course or program. It just didn't deliver what I thought it was going to promise or what it promised me. And our promise to you is this. When you say yes and come in and join this, if you come in and do the work, this is really important because I'm not there with you every day. I can't sit down, hold your hand and do this for you as much as I would love to. This is where you get to go on the journey. And if you can show that you have implemented all the things that we've shared with you, that you've shown up on the weekly calls, which I'll talk about in a moment, and it hasn't changed your life in the way that you wanted it to. I'm not saying that the £1 million will be in your bank or the hot, sexy, whatever person it is you're trying to manifest will be there. But if you feel like it hasn't helped you shift what it is you want to work on, then I'll simply refund you the money as long as you show us that you've done the work. And I think personally that's pretty fair. Now, in addition to that, you'll also get access to our daily affirmations journey, which I love. This is a really awesome program, really short but simple program, 10 guided meditations that cover all the different areas of your life. You get little bonus packs of affirmation cards that you can stick up around your house if you want to focus on your relationships, or you want to focus on wealth, or you want to focus on health. We've got everything covered. You can download, print them all out, listen to the audios. If you want to have me in your ear all day, there's like a 2-hour step 5 audios in there. So you can literally just keep yourself in the flow state while you're out walking the dog or whatever. You'll also get access to Discover How to EAM, which is currently, you're going to get access to the old version, which doesn't sound very exciting until you know that you're also going to be getting access to the upgraded version, which is coming out in the next few weeks. And it is the most sexy, beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous, I'm so excited about the new version of Discover How to EAM that's coming, but you're going to get access to the upgraded version of that when it comes out too. This guides you through all the 5 steps, how to put them into practice, how to work on energy reversals, how to release all of those things that are standing in your way. You've got access to all of this ongoing, how to ask the right questions, how the psychology and the energy stuff sits behind EAM is all in there. And you'll get access to so much more of that when we get the new sexy version coming shortly. And weeks for as long as the weekly group calls are going. And they might be changing later on this year. But beyond the 8 weeks, you get access to our weekly group calls with our incredible EAM mentors. Carolyn is one of the people that is our fairy god mentor, who is on all the calls every Wednesday. And it's a whole community call. You get access to those. You can come on and ask questions. You can post questions in the group beforehand. We do EAM on the call if you're stuck with something, and we always do powerful group step 5s at the end, so you get access to all of those. And I am running the first 4 of those for you all. I know some of you on here have already joined, and I can't wait. Next Wednesday, I'm there. We'll be coaching you for the whole of February. As we go through the first part of this journey, I'll be there, and it's literally Q&A. I'm not teaching anything. This is you bringing your questions, where you're stuck, what you're needing support on, where you need support on, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the random question is, the weirder the better. I love those weird questions. That's what the Q&As are always for. So what you bring is what we'll do, and you'll probably see me with a flip chart pen somewhere. Now, for those of you who are serious about this, we did offer this last week on the money call, and all of these disappeared really, really quickly. I was actually beautifully blown away, but a very, very, very rare opportunity to work with me one-to-one. So I have opened up 2 more days in terms of spaces in my diary in February. For those of you who are serious, and I do mean this as in you are serious about changing your money stuff, I am going to spend some time with you one-to-one. You fill in a form when you book the call. I might WhatsApp you before with some questions just to get you a bit more focused before the call as well. But this is an opportunity for me to literally laser focus with you on your money stuff. Now, I'm not saying that everyone's got money challenges, but I don't think there's a single person on the call that wouldn't like to do some more work on their money stuff. So when you join this journey and you pay in full, and it'll be the first 8 of you that join us tonight in order to do this, will get an opportunity, and these literally will be the last spaces for this, because my diary is really busy in February and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff I need to get done by the 1st of March. So these will be the last spaces to come in and do this. And I am so, those of you who've done it already, I'm so excited to get to do this, because what I don't get to do, because I'm always doing all of the other stuff, is actually spending time doing one-to-ones with people. And that's one of the big reasons why I'm doing this, is basically so I can get my hands on you. In the nicest possible way, because it's all well and good teaching it, but it's a whole other level just watching things shift and change in like less than 30 minutes. So I would love to be there as your guide to do this with you, as long as you are committed to taking the actions that I share with you on those calls. There really is no, I hate those things that I'm going to say out loud. It always bugs me when it's like, and this, and this, and this, and this, and these are all the price, and blah, 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 blah. If I have to put a number on this for you, this isn't the right journey, because for me, the change that comes on the other side of this is priceless. This is about transforming your life. Like, there is something about this that called you to here tonight. There's something about EAM that's called you. I know in every inch of my soul how bloody transformational this stuff is. And believe you me, I would not still be here teaching it 7 years on if I didn't know that in my heart and soul. So much so that I am so happy to put a money back promise on it. If it doesn't deliver for you, then that's fine. I'll give you the money back in the journey as long as you show that you've done it. I really want you to have these transformations that you are waiting for. And I know how to take you on the pathway to get there. So the big question is really, are you ready? It is an awesome program. And quite frankly, it is a bloody awesome offer, if I do say so myself. And we've done this because I know how life-changing this can be for those who are ready to do it. So if you want to come and do this, there's the URL, www.howtochangeyour.life/say yes to change. I think we need to change that URL, make it a little bit shorter. But anyway, it's in the chat. For those of you that want to come in and join, it would be amazing to see some more of you there. I know some of you have joined us already. We start the first group call is next Wednesday. So doors will be closing on Tuesday, will be the last day that you can join. But the first 8 of you that do come in and join, they will literally be the last 8 spots. I won't be offering any more of the one-to-one spots for now. So with all of that said, I want to get on to, please post your questions in the chat if you've got any questions about that. I'll come back to that in a minute. I want us to do a step 5 to wrap this up with our relationship challenges. So for those of you who are new to EAM, I'm going to guide you through steps 3, 4, and 5 of the process. There are lots of different ways for you to do step 3, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that I need to teach around step 1 and 2. But for now, I just want you to follow my guidance. Let me take you through the journey and I'll lead you through the steps one at a time. Step 3, we're going to tune in and find out what this challenge really feels like, where you're noticing it in your energy. Step 4, we're going to do the release work that I talked about, releasing the old paradigm, that stuff that's stuck in your energy field. And step 5, we're going to do the reprogramming. That's called you manifest. And that's all about calling in the new thought, the new belief, the new emotion, the new whatever it is we want to receive. So I'll ask you what you want to include in your step 5s in a minute. So as we were talking about drama, that was the main theme of tonight. You've seen from the call, there are so many ways to work on your relationship stuff, and we have literally only just scratched the tiniest bit of the surface. Even just the pieces that we've talked about tonight, I know will be life-changing when you put them into practice. So as we were talking about the drama stuff, I would love you to think about somebody. Does not have to be your biggest arch nemesis, does not need to be your enemy, your enemy. I want you to think about someone who you know that there is a little bit of discord with. And I want you to just pay attention, just close your eyes and notice in your energy field, where are you feeling any tightness, any tension? Is there something on your heart or your shoulders? Are you feeling it inside you or outside you? Like, is it just above the surface of your body, or is it deep, deep within? So when you think about them, notice what changes in your physiology. What you're really feeling is these changes in your energy field that your nervous system is actually picking up on. So it might be that you get like a heaviness in your chest, or like you can't quite take a full deep breath in, whatever that might be for you. I just want you to notice it, recognize its locations. There might be a feeling in your chest, a feeling in your stomach. What size is it? Is it like the size of a golf ball, tennis ball, rugby ball, beach ball? Is it inside you? Is it outside you? What color is it? So you might have a hard red rugby ball in your heart, for example. So now we're going to take what you've discovered at step 3 and put it into our step 4 statement. So step 4 is called you transform. And we're going to say this statement. I will guide you through this out loud. You will simply need to repeat this after me. So don't worry about what I'm about to say. I'm ready to release this. And then you fill in the blank. In this case, it would be a hard red rugby ball in my heart. When I think about, insert the name of that person. I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through that statement 3 times. And this speaks to our head, our heart, and our hara. And then usually we check in again, and we might end up repeating step 4 a couple of times to really feel the shift. But let's see where we get to with step 4. So just closing your eyes for me again, be present with yourself. This is far more powerful if you say the words out loud. If the person's in the room with you or in the room next door, you can whisper it if you need to. But the more energy you get going through your heart and your throat chakra, the clearer and more powerful the transformation will be. So I am ready to release this. Enter the feeling or the object, big red ball in my heart, heaviness in my legs. When I think about and then name that person, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. 2 more times. I am ready to release this, feeling in my, and then describe the part of your body. When I think about and say the name, I release all of the emotional, mental, energetic connections and ties. I release this fully from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Nice deep breath. 1 more time. I am ready to release this. Say it with some meaning. Heaviness in my heart or big red rugby ball in my energy. When I think about, I release this fully from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And then take a really nice deep breath in and breathe it out. Now, like I said, step 4, sometimes you might need to go back in and repeat step 4 a couple of times to really feel the shift. But for the sake of today, we're going to move on to step 5. So just in the chat, just let me know if you're feeling any shift with that, if it still feels exactly the same, or if it feels a little bit different or a little bit lighter. I'll come back to your questions in a minute. Just in the chat, let me know. Feels a little lighter, says Sarah. It's gone, says Shelley. Definitely feeling a shift. Tender says gone, tender yet gone, says John. So all you would need to do is just go back in and release it again. And there's all sorts of things that you can do with checking in to make sure it's gone from your energy. But I just wanted you to see how quickly you can shift this. Like in the moment when that person's just stood on your landmine, imagine being able to go and let that go and then go back to them before smacking them around the face with John's love baseball bat. Okay. So step 4. Okay, let's go through. We'll do step 4 again, just really quickly for those of you who are still feeling it a little. So I am ready to release this. Heaviness in my heart, feeling in my chest. When I think about whoever they are, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I am ready to release this, whatever it might be, feeling in my heart, feeling in my chest, or my legs. When I think about and you say their name, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I am ready to release this, feeling in my heart, feeling in my chest, or feeling in my energy. I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Nice deep breath in and out. So step 5 now. This is where we get to request anything that we want. So for those of you that would like me to add this into step 5, what do you want to think, feel, or experience in this relationship? So post it in the chat. Is it more love? Is it more connection? Is it truth? Is it transparency? Is it to be heard? What are the things that you're asking for? This is what we're creating now. This is what we're putting out into the space. You've released and shifted some of the resistance, those reversals, those things we were talking about earlier, those imprints in your energy. Now you've created space. Now we want to imprint this with something new. To be seen and heard, to be respected, more commitment, healthy love, to be heard and appreciated. All of them, says Shelley. Yeah. More love and patience. Boundaries, healthy boundaries. Okay. So step 5 is best done standing up. If you can't stand up, then that's fine. Sit with your palms face up in your lap or above your head. But I want you to have your palms face up, so ready to receive, up above your head for me now. Close your eyes, and I will guide you through the step 5. Just repeat out loud after me. I am ready to allow myself to be fully present, to be loving, guided, and connected, to communicate with love wherever I am, whatever I do, to be seen, heard, and understood, to be respected, and to feel a true loving connection with the people around me. I allow all of this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I am ready to allow more loving, mutual connection, understanding, compassion, respect, open communication, peace, love. I am ready to be heard, loved, and understood. I allow all of this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I am ready to allow myself to be loved, heard, understood, and connected. I allow mutual respect and understanding, connection and compassion. I allow all of this into my life and my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that breath going out right the way around the world. Just imagine it wrapping the whole globe in a beautiful, connected light of all of those words, of everything we just manifested for ourselves, being sent out into the great big global net for every single human consciousness being on this planet to receive, even all the way over there in New Zealand. Oh, I've got goosebumps all over. I've got goosebumps all over my arms. Oh, I do love a good step 5. I do love a good step 5. They're so much better when we do them together. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sonia says I'm crying so much. This is how quick this can be. You can shift yourself into that place of power, into that place of alignment in any moment, on any subject. Denise says, I'm yawning, yawning, yawning. New Zealand felt it. Thank you, Sonia. I'm glad. They need some love over there at the minute. My dear life, the craziness you guys are going through. Jo says, I feel that. Loved so peace and smiley, and the step 4 really made me giggle. Yeah, there are lots of ways the releases come out. So yawning, coughing, crying, going to the loo, giggling, tears, obviously, as well. Deborah says it felt familiar. Yeah, it's just speaking to your soul. That's the beautiful thing. I feel lighter and brighter already. Thank you all for coming on to join this evening. Let me just whiz back up and try and find your questions. If you've got any more questions, just in general, or about coming to join the program, Claire will pop the link in the chat again. I'm not sure if some of you might have already whizzed off to go and join the program. Please stay with us for a moment, but you might want to hurry. I don't know if anyone's gone through yet. Right, let me just whiz back to see it because there were a couple of questions up here that I missed earlier. So Sarah asked earlier, is the protector similar to a people pleaser? Yes, the protector is usually it is a people pleaser. They're like running around trying to do everything for everyone else. Like, let me just do this for this person. Let me just do this for this person. Let me just do this for this person. I need to keep them happy because blah, 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 blah. So yeah, protector can show up in the people pleasing kind of way. I find it hard to change and keep that momentum going, says Deborah. This is a whole other a whole other conversation for flow is so much more than what we've talked about tonight. One of the things that we do share inside the How to Change Your Life journey, one of the first things that we get you to do is actually work on opening up your energy system. So the lack of momentum is a lack of energy. And the quickest way that I can describe this is your whole energy field, because I didn't do the teach on that tonight, but you have something that runs down the core of you. We call it your funnel, which is like your battery power. So if you imagine a battery has the positive charge and the negative charge on it, and energy flows through it from top to bottom and bottom up. Your funnel, if you can imagine if it was carrying water, your funnel could be this wide, funnel could be that wide, or your funnel could be this wide, or your funnel could be this wide, or your funnel could be this wide, or your funnel could be as wide as a house. So when we think I have no energy, it's usually that our funnel is very small. And the reasons that our funnels and our whole energy system are ultimately actually becomes very small is because of all of those things that we were talking about earlier. The things that we're carrying, the things that have happened in our past, the traumas or life experiences that we've been through, all kinds of different things impact and affect our energy state. So the first thing that we teach you, and this is where everyone should begin their EAM journey, is working on your energy system. It's like having a plumbing system that's got a leak in every single radiator. You know, the pipes aren't connected to one another, and there's a little bit of water kind of spurting through the system every now and then. We need to fix the energy field first. And actually, once you've done the work on fixing the system, as in the whole energy system, your funnels, your aura, your chakras, the meridians, it's like you've got the whole system working, and all of those other things in your life really begin to disappear because your body is designed, bodies, and when I say body, I mean all of your energy bodies are designed to heal themselves. The reason that they do not heal themselves is because of all the things that are already held in our energy system. So when we run out of momentum, that was a super quick teach, I'm sorry. That's like an hour teach condensed into 30 seconds. But when we don't have momentum, when we've lost our motivation, when we can't be bothered to do anything, it's because we're out of flow and our energy system is shut down. So the work to do is to release what's shut down the energy system so we have more energy, so that we have the momentum to keep going with doing things. And that is the kind of stuff that we cover in week 1 with the preparing for your journey, because that's exactly what the challenges are that people have. So I hear you, Deborah, on lots of levels. How much of divine timing is created by our filters through life experiences compared to our higher guidance consciousness? That is a big question mark, Gilgras. I don't know if you're still on, but if you want to unmute yourself, you pop your hand up. using the thing at the bottom and just clarify what you're asking would be awesome. And I will answer that for you. Sonia says, I have adrenal fatigue, lost a tooth today because of it. I know there's energy around my mother with that tooth too. So adrenal fatigue is connected into your kidneys for sure. And I would be doing some work, again, another teach for another day. If you're not familiar with EAM, I would be doing some work on what we call your hara. So it's one of 3 energy centers that we talk about within EAM. And your hara is very rooted in your kidneys. It's very rooted to your family, to your parents, to your generational patterns, to what you're born with, also to fear or any prolonged periods of trauma and stress. So adrenal fatigue is an outcome of what's been going on in your energy field. So I hope that gives you a little bit of clarity or might point you in the right direction. Oh, perfect. I was going to say, I can hear someone. Hello, Mark.
Hi, Kim.
Hello, lovely. It's nice to see you again. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
What would you like to clarify your question for me? It is a big question. That's why I was like, can you just clarify that? I was like, I feel like we should be sat around a campfire smoking weed or something. I was like, that is a deep philosophical question for a Monday night. So my answer to that would be part 1. What we were talking about tonight is like which you touched on, like the imprints, the negativity, the old paradigm. It's like the bleh stuff that we would probably choose to let go of. If we could see it all, we would be choosing to let go of that. So that very often comes, our reactions and responses in life through that filter comes from our very 3D, reactive, unconscious, unaware old paradigm self. So this is when we usually see ourselves acting out like a child, or are, those parts of ourselves that we think, oh my God, I can say, I'm nearly 40, like I shouldn't be doing that anymore. I know better. So it's usually the old stuff brings up the dark side. What we're actually trying to get to, which is what you touched on, and the beautiful outcome of doing this energy work and going on your journey, whatever your spiritual journey is, whether it's with EAM or any other number of things, you actually come to a point where you stop reacting to life, living in the old paradigm, unconsciously aware of what's going on, and you step into what you were talking about, which is your higher self. And the higher self actually lives, in terms of energy, it lives in these energy centers, your heart, your throat, your third eye, crown chakra. And that's what alignment is. When you are in flow, you are tuned into your higher self. It's always there. It's just that very often we don't hear it. I'm saying it's here, but actually your soul lives in your heart. We don't hear it because we're stuck in our 3D reactive, this is what's happened in my life, blah, 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 blah. We're playing out the 3D drama stories, which are all the lower frequency energies. So really what we're doing is going on a journey to release all of that lower frequency energy so it's no longer there. And what then happens is you start to live your life more in alignment. So you're more tuned in to your higher self more consistently. This is what people talk about as their intuition. People might, depending on what schools or philosophies you listen to, start receiving more downloads or understandings or intuitions, and all of a sudden information comes to you and you're like, oh, maybe I should go and do that. Or it comes through in a journal, or, you meet the right person in the right place at the right time and you're like, oh my God, this manifesting stuff's really easy. The clearer you are from the 3D reactive stuff, those imprints in your energy field, the quicker and more in sync, and the more time, which was your question, how much of that is that is the journey we're going on. So it changes as you change your energy system, and the more in flow you are, the more you experience that connection to the other parts of you, the more intuitive parts of you. Did that answer your question? No, it's a fab question. And there is no, listen, this is the thing. There is no right and wrong. I'm sharing with you a philosophy, a concept, a teaching that I know works on so many levels, but all of us will experience, and this, I've really learned this over the last 7 years, everyone experiences energy in a completely different way. And I don't have the answer to everything, because everything is energy and every one of us has experienced life in a completely different way. So how some issue or trauma or relationship or money issue has manifested in you will be completely different to how it's manifested in someone else. But there's enough knowledge and understanding of what the basic concepts are to go in and find it. And then your experiences are always so different as to what comes on the other side of it. And that's where the geeky part of me kind of comes out, because I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen. And then this happens, and then that one happens. I'm like, oh my God, you would never imagine what comes on the other side, because everybody's is different. So I can't predict what anyone else's change would be. So, and you've literally touched on something beautiful there. Oh, these are the conversations. These are the things I love to have. So divine timing, the thing that you've been asking for is already waiting for you. It's already there. You've already been asking for the £1 million. It's already there. If we were talking about this in terms of vibration, remember I said the lower vibrations are keeping us here. If your £1 million was just here and you do the energy work on shifting it, boop, all of a sudden it looks like divine timing, because suddenly you've shifted your energy to there and you're like, oh my God, I just did that work and it shifted and now I'm here. And £1 million is going, I've been sat here for the last 3 years, but you were too busy down there not paying any attention. So it's like the divine timing is actually a manifestation of what you've been doing in your energy. It's all waiting for you. The only thing that's stopping it is what we've got in our energy field already. That's it. That's it. So it comes, and I love these questions. It looks like divine timing, but it's there. It's literally just, if you could see it, it's like the other side of the wall. It's there. And it's the only thing that stops us getting it is us and this work. So the more you grow, it's amazing. It fascinates me. This is where I get geeked out. I'm like, oh my God, how did that happen? Like, how did all of those sequence of events, I'm sure all of you have had this experience, when you meet someone, you think, how did the synchronicity of that thing happen in that place at that time in that space? Like, I had this happen the other week. Alex, I don't know if Alex is on here tonight, but a wonderful lady, she'd been messaging us on our Facebook page for about a week before an event in London that I went to. She'd been speaking to Claire the day before. We were the last two people walking down on the train platform, walked down the steps, stood on the platform, and this lady was looking at me, and I was like, getting a bit uncomfortable. I was like, oh, didn't want to look at me. She went, sorry to ask this, you Yvette Taylor? I was like, yeah. I didn't want to answer that question. She was like, I had no idea why I was coming today. So this was one of the marches in London. She'd literally been messaging Claire the day before, and we happened to be on the same train, on the same platform, at the same time, going to the same venue. And when you just think, that actually shouldn't be happening. Like, in all realms of reality, that shouldn't happen. But we were both in the vibrational space to make that happen, if that makes sense. So we all have these magical manifestations. I am both. So I'm a double dog in my chart, and my career is a rooster. So I'm a dog year, dog day, and a rooster month. What made you ask? Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. I will. My friend Janine, if any of you don't follow Janine Lowe, you absolutely need to. She was literally just here with me earlier. We just did a call in her Facebook group. She's incredible Chinese astrologer as well. So, Fire Dragon, look at you all sharing your things in the chat. Huh? No worries. Thank you, Mark. It's lovely to see you. Right, last few questions. Oh my God, it's 10:15. See? Oh, yeah. And a really simple question to answer with a long question. By learning the concepts. So this, please know that I'm saying this because this really is the answer. This is what we teach you inside the journeys. Sorry, I really don't know what I'm so very windy tonight. How long is a piece of string? So these are the things that we start to teach you inside. Discover How to EAM. We teach you the three fundamental ways that you can start to use EAM. So how to use it to work on emotions, how to use it to work on thoughts, beliefs and patterns, how to use it to work on things that we have coming up in our energy, like we just did tonight. They're the three things that we show you how to do first, and how to work on these energy reversals, because there's a slight little change in the way that we use the 5 steps with that. So that's the first thing that we show you. Once you understand those 3 basic applications, then we start putting it into practice around different subjects. So as you learn the subject and understand, then you can start to understand what type of questions to ask. So we teach you all of these things inside the Discover How to EAM, like where to begin. So there are all sorts of things you can explore, like if you could imagine a chain of questions. For every question that there's a yes or no, there's another yes or no answer. So once you've got the basic skills in terms of those different elements and the type of questions you can explore and where to find out how things began or where things came from, or what it's connected to, these are some of the things that we show you how to do. Then you just start to have fun with it, because all we're doing with the questions, which is what we teach, and that's what step 1 is really all about, which I didn't teach you tonight. Step 1 and step 2 are asking your subconscious questions like, is this anger that I'm feeling in my heart? And your body will give you a response, yes or no. So if it's not anger, you would ask again. So is it a feeling of powerlessness? Yes. Okay, so now you know you're working on the right thing. So, we'd ask things like, did it begin in this life? Did it begin in a past life? Was it something that happened in the womb? Was I age 10? Was I age 17? Like, there are, the questions are endless. And I say that to excite you. Hopefully if you learn the 5 steps, you can ask your sway any yes or no answer question. It is not a predictive tool. It doesn't help manifest the future. What it's telling you is, it doesn't tell you what's going to manifest in the future. What it tells you is what your energy is in alignment with. So we're using the sway to access what's going on in our energy field right now. So yeah, there are lots of different questions. We do share it inside the Discover How to EAM journey, if you want to find out a little bit more. And there are lots of other videos and stuff online as well, if that doesn't, I hope that answered your question. Belinda says, what happens when you go through traumatic experience? Yeah, so traumatic experiences are exactly that. Those energy reversals that we were talking about earlier, they knock us in so many different ways. If you could see what was going on in your energy field, even though you might not have been hurt physically, we do get hurt emotionally in the same way that we get a black eye or a broken arm. We have these damages and impacts to our energy field, and that's the work that we're doing. And particularly if there's other people in our lives who are not necessarily supportive, like I said earlier, Melinda, it isn't a one size fits all, like just get rid of them. We need to do the energy work on what's come up, because when we step into the world of attraction and full responsibility, there was something present in us that attracted that person in that situation. And that's sometimes a difficult thing to take on board or to accept. But when we do, then that goes, right, so there's some work that I need to do on myself. What was I thinking? What was I feeling? How did I create this situation? Because they're a reflection. They're always there to teach us something. As much as that sounds like a really blah spiritual answer, they are always there to teach us something. So we need to do the work in terms of EAM to find out what it is, what the learning was, what we need to shift, what we need to let go of before you make any decisions around choosing to keep someone in your life or choosing to let them go. And there's a whole sort of step-by-step journey, because you need to do the energy work before you choose to let someone go. Otherwise, they'll just come boing back. Or if they don't come boing back, somebody else will come in to replace them. So I hope that makes sense. Joe says, even though I know how amazing EAM is, I'm massively struggling with motivation to get up and actually do it. Would you like me as your coach for the next 4 weeks again, Joe? I know you joined us last year. Do you want me to come and lovingly guide you on the journey? No. What I said earlier, I can't remember who I was answering about the funnel piece. That would definitely be something to go back and revisit. I know you know how to do that. And also a big thing, and this is another conversation for another day, is finding our purpose. If we don't have purpose in our life, a reason to get up every day, something bigger or more important than each of us, many people do really struggle with that. So that might be something really worth exploring to make sure that you are living on purpose. Joe, knowing what you do, are you doing it? Are you actually living on purpose as you're meant to be? Just asking the question with a knowing look. I think that's, thank you so much. Totally fatigued. Oh my God, Abigail. So after last week's money workshop, I had a call to let me know I was owed $3,500 in a back payment. Yay! Because my tax had been incorrectly calculated. So I've got a lump sum on its way. Hallelujah. Thank you, manifestation, Abigail. I love that. Watermat, thanks again. Truly awesome. Love this. Sonia says I'm going to sign up tomorrow. Amazing. yes, can I save you a space for a one-to-one? If you're really good, hopefully they might still be there. I don't know if, and someone says, if someone is lying to you, can your energy tell? Oh my God, absolutely. Yes. We are all born with our own intuitive abilities. And like we were just talking about with Mark, the more inflow you are, the clearer your energy is, the more you'll be able to pick up on, I like to call it a BS detector. You know when something just doesn't sit right with you. If it doesn't sit right in your heart, doesn't sit right in your soul, then trust yourself. If it doesn't feel right, make sure that you aren't coming from a place of fear. Make sure that it's not something in your energy field. Make sure you've shifted that and then just listen in. But if someone's lying, then it's time to call a truth conversation and speak to them. It doesn't quite feel right when you say blah, 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 and speak about it from that perspective. I think we are done for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I hope it's been helpful and a new foray into the world of energy and relationships. Well done to those of you who are still here after 2.5 hours. But these masterclasses are never short, no matter how short I try to make them. I really look forward to seeing you inside How to Change Your Life. This is going to be epic on so many levels. It'll be amazing to have some more of you coming in to join us. Doors close next Tuesday, the 1st, but those 8 places to work with me one-to-one may already be TikTok going. But it really is an awesome journey. And if you really want to speak to us about, moving a payment date ever so slightly or something like that, just send Claire a message on our reply on one of our emails, because I never want money to be the thing that stands in the way of people moving forward on their journey. We really are understanding, not taking liberties, but we are really understanding. So please do speak to us and let's find a way to make it happen. If this is calling you in your heart, that's what we're here for. I'll get Claire to just pop. Claire absolutely rocks. She does absolutely rock. Claire, I'll pop the link in the chat again just for anyone else. And Shelley, oh my God, yes, we've got our mentor course this week. We've got our next group of mentors starting their journey on Friday. And actually, we just had 8 more mentors qualify today as well, which is really exciting, who were with us last year. So yeah, there's lots of different pieces of the puzzle going on. Thank you. Gorgeous to see you all. Take care of yourselves. I will see you all very soon. Come and join the journey. It's awesome. Follow the link in the chat. Come and join. Don't procrastinate. Come and join us. Joe's like, I love to hear my stories. Seriously, give me a glass of wine and see what other ones come out. No, I don't really drink. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all later. Bye. Bye for now.